guys, Travis Gillespie, and we just went over the real number system. So let's move forward from here and actually classify real numbers. And we'll write down all the names that apply. So let's take an example such as the square root of 3. Well, what does this actually equal in our real number system? Before we classify this by providing it names, let's look at what a couple of other square roots are. Let's look at the square root of 1. I could draw this on the number line. The square root of 1 equals 1. Well, if I took a look at another number here, I could say the square root of 4 is 2. And now I want to know what the square root of 3 is. Well, the square root of 3 is somewhere between the square root of 1 and the square root of 4. I could say the square root of 3 here. The square root of 3, since it's between the square root of 1 and the square root of 4, whatever number it is, it's got to be between 1 and 2. Since I know that 1 and 2 are whole numbers, I know that this, the square root of 3, is actually going to have a decimal. Well, since the square root of 3 is a number that is not a perfect square, it's got to be 1 point something something something. And I don't really know what it is without a calculator. But for now, we're just going to take it as, since it's a number that's not a perfect square, it is an irrational number. Well, since it's an irrational number, the irrational number was also a part of the system of real numbers, so it's also a real number. Let's take a look at another one here. Let's scroll down. Let's say, what is negative 56.85? So what could this equal? 56.85. Well, 56.85, it is a terminating decimal. It stops after the 5. So I know that since it's a terminating decimal, not a non-terminating decimal, this cannot be irrational. It has to be irrational. So this is a rational number. Furthermore, since rational numbers are part of the system of real numbers, it's also a real number. Let's take a look at another one. Let's look at the square root of 9 over 3. What could the square root of 9 over 3 be? Well, let's actually calculate it out some. The square root of 9 is 3, because 3 times 3 is 9, and 3 over 3 actually gives us the value of 1. Well, this is right here because it's set up as a fraction. It's a rational number. Also, since it turns into the value 1, it is also an integer, because remember, integers are all numbers that include 0 and negative numbers. And finally, since both rational and real numbers are a part of the larger, with one more, it is also a whole number, because remember, whole numbers are all positive numbers, but they also include 0. So now we have rational, integer, whole number, and it also, since all of these are a part of the real number system, this is a real number.